Holy shit. What's going on, everyone? How you doing? Welcome back. How's everyone doing, man? Wow. 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 Is all I have to say. How are you? I hope your pants are still on after this morning. Holy shit. What's going on? I'm Phil, and welcome to my PreStream podcast for, what day is today? Tuesday, the 18th of January. I can't even figure out where I am anymore. Tuesday, January 18th, 2022, ladies and gentlemen. Wow! Wow, what a morning. Excuse me. First of all, listen, I'm just coming from my day off here. My day off for streaming was yesterday. You know? So for me, I'm not ready for this shit. I'm not. I'm thinking I'm going to slowly ease myself into the week. A slow easing in, you know, kind of be here but not. And then all of a sudden get kind of full force into everything. I wake up this morning. I'm actually feeling kind of good. I got a little post-nasal drip is going. It sucks. But other than that, I'm feeling pretty good. Really positive about a new streaming week coming up here today. And the first thing I got to do, I'm like, man, I got to take a shit. I do. I wake up sometimes. It's like right away I got to get in there. So I run in the bathroom. Jasper's like battling me because he likes to chase me around in the morning as soon as I wake up. I'm like, no, Jasper, I got to take a shit. Look out. So I go in the bathroom. I close the door. Pull down my pants. Bloop, sit on the throne. And what I like to do first thing in the morning is I open up social media to figure out what's going on in gaming news. Because as you know, I do this thing. It's called the PreStream podcast every morning. And I like to talk about the latest gaming news, the things that are going on. So I said, let's see what's going on. And I open it up, and my my replies are blown up. My regular feed's blown up. Everything's blown up. I was like, holy shit, what happened? You know, what's going on here? Did PewDiePie drop another N-bomb? Did Keemstar finally admit that he's a lawn gnome or whatever? Or did something crazy happen? Something crazy happened. Ladies and gentlemen, as of this morning, 5 a.m., Phil Spencer posts up on the internet, Microsoft is rebranding to like Microsoft Gaming and has purchased or is in the process of purchasing Activision fucking Blizzard. Holy shit. Okay, and when I read this, I'm serious, I didn't believe it at first. I thought that I was reading one of those parody accounts. I was like, oh, this is one of those fake news accounts. Was it like Hard Drive or whatever? I was like, okay. So I started looking all around, and no, it was here, it was there. And when I realized it was real, I launched the biggest torpedo turd ever into the ball. I rocketed off the toilet into the ceiling. Okay? So it took about 20 minutes to get my head unstuck from the fucking ceiling tiles. But once I did, I was like, wow. This is some crazy gaming news that I don't think I like. Like, okay, Microsoft buys Bethesda is one thing. All right? But Activision Blizzard, okay, is a dynamo in gaming, but has been really, really screwed the last few years with all these reports of rampant issues within the company. The mistreatment and unequal treatment of employees, the rampant sexual harassment and actual sexual abuse of employees, all these projects being screwed over and everything just being terrible because the management is shit. And everyone's kind of like, in the last year, been like, man, Activision Blizzard sucks. Look at this. No one's buying Call of Duty Vanguard. It's the worst selling Call of Duty in many, many, many years, right? And I'm just like, holy crap, man. They bought them, or they are buying them, okay? Now, just the major implications of this. Think about this, first of all. Microsoft has been on a buying spree trying to get either partnerships or actually outright buying gaming companies just in the last year, right? EA, Ubisoft, all announcing that their games are going to be a part of Microsoft Game Pass. It's pretty exciting, right? Oh, if you have Game Pass, now you can get all these games, this big library of games under Game Pass. They bought Bethesda a couple years ago, and now, Bethesda kind of finishing up their final games that are going to be major cross-platform, like Deathloop that just released a few months ago. But now Bethesda outright saying, no, you don't even understand what we're telling you. Yes, all of our big titles will be Microsoft exclusive now. Starfield, the new Elder Scrolls, anything else coming out, it's going to be Microsoft exclusive. We don't understand why you don't get this. Like, we were bought by Microsoft, okay? Pretty crazy, right? So anyway, it's just nuts. It's wild. It's zany. It's crazy. Who thought Microsoft would be buying Activision Blizzard? Just to give you some perspective, Activision Blizzard owns franchises like Call of Duty, Crash Bandicoot, Diablo and all its sequels, Overwatch and its upcoming Overwatch sequel, World of Warcraft and all of its expansions, right? Activision Blizzard is freaking huge. And for this company to be bought by another gaming company, right, and be assimilated into it, holy crap, right? Like, wow. Don't even know how this is going to be. Wow, my brain. Squirting this way, squirting that way, brain matter exploding. Because this could change a lot of things. It really could. This could change a lot of things in the face of gaming. So, that's what we're talking about on a lot of today's PreStream podcast. I mean, wow, wouldn't we? It's the biggest gaming news in a long time, and everyone's talking about it on the internet today, okay? But, of course, here on the PreStream podcast, there'll be some other topics. In fact, I got a follow-up topic regarding to one of the things I've been talking about over the last week. And obviously, today is my day back from my day off yesterday. And I like to do a little segment called Phil's Day Off, where I tell you about what I did on my day off, and I'll tell you about what I did on my day off. So we got some good stuff to talk about here today on the PreStream podcast. Now, I know that many of you who are watching this right now are excited. I am too. Please give the stream a like if you're excited like me and you're having fun, you want to hear my reactions to all this. If you're watching this video on demand on YouTube after the fact, please also give it a like, and please, by all means, leave a comment with your opinion on this giant acquisition by Microsoft, because this is a big, ample opportunity for interaction and engagement with the content I'm going to make today, and it would really help out the channel a lot if you did those things, okay? In fact, I will tell you this. I took a look kind of at the stats of DSPGaming over the last couple of weeks since 2022 began. You guys have dramatically increased your engagement on my content. That's likes on videos and on streams and leaving comments on videos. The engagement is really good. And if we could keep this pattern up of, oh, I'm watching Phil's content, I'm excited for it today, give it a like. Oh, something funny happened or something interesting happened, or I can help Phil with some advice, leave a comment. It helps a ton. It really does. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a slow climb. But I feel like DSPGaming can really get built up this year if we all remember this stuff. If I keep mentioning it, if you remember to do it, make it a habit, okay? Now, my goal is 200,000 subscribers by my birthday, the first week of April. We are getting an increase in subscribers, and it's consistent. It's not a lot, but it's consistent, and consistency is key, okay? In February, there will be a ton of new releases coming out that I'm going to be covering, and that likely will bring new viewers to the content. It'll be hard because on YouTube, it's very hard to be discovered on YouTube. That's why you guys liking the streams and the videos is going to be key. When I'm playing new hot games like Dying Light 2, Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring, you guys liking the content is going to allow other people to see it and check it out. I'm going to need your help in February to make it happen, because then everyone who comes in is going to want to sub, because they're going to want to be able to talk on the streams. They're going to want to be able to be notified when the next hot stream of the new game is coming out. And I think we're going to get a big growth spurt in February, okay? I hope. Because if we're going to make my goal of 200,000 subscribers by early April, it's got to happen. We got to get an influx of new people. Listen, I love having you guys here every day. You guys are the core. You guys are the main audience. You're here for everything, right? Doesn't matter what game I'm playing. Doesn't matter what I'm talking about. I can be scratching my ass, picking my nose, and you guys are cool to chill with me while I do it. And I appreciate that. But let's face it, this is also a business, and I need to get new eyeballs on the content, you see? And new games are the way to do that. And the buy-in from you is if you're going to like the content and leave comments on it if you feel like it's appropriate. If you hate the content, don't like it. I'm not asking you to lie. I'm asking you to be honest. If you're here every day and you chill with me and you like it, okay? All right, so thank you guys. Now, let's go ahead and let's talk. First of all, let's just do the whole Microsoft discussion first, because it'd be pretty silly if I start talking about my day off and everything when all anyone wants to hear about right away is Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard, right? Now, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, Activision Blizzard has been having one of its worst years ever. Scandal after scandal, report after report of mistreatment, unequal treatment, and even outright sexual harassment and abuse within the company. The Bill Cosby room is all I have to say. If you don't know what that means, go search for it. Your jaw will hit the fucking floor, because it's real. It's not a joke. It's fucking real. And how some of the insanely fucked up stuff was allowed to happen at that company, a game development company, I have absolutely no fucking idea. And I have no... it blows my mind that Bobby Kodick, the CEO of Activision Blizzard, is really like, he's like a cat on curtains. He's clinging on to the company. He doesn't want to leave, even though he's really the one responsible for all the shit that's gone down. He's like, no, he's scratching, destroying the curtains on the way out. He's just destroying them all. He's destroying the company. He's going down Activision Blizzard, ripping it all apart, while everyone wants him out, including his own fucking employees. He refuses to leave. Okay? That's pretty crazy. So what a year for Activision Blizzard, right? It's been terrible, and everyone's kind of been saying, man, this sucks, because let's be honest here. Can you separate the art from the asshole? We were just talking about this the other day with Troy Baker. Tremendous asshole. We were saying, can you separate the art that someone makes from them and their personality and the fucked up stuff that they do in real life? Activision Blizzard is a great game development company. They have pumped out so many awesome games over the years that have become cultural dynamos, right? You think about World of Warcraft and how humongous it was in the gaming landscape for so many years, and still remains to this day, although albeit a much declined and downscaled version of what it once was, right? Overwatch, when Overwatch released, that shit was super duper popular, right? Like, white hot popular. It was so popular. And then all of a sudden, you know, because the last couple of years of bullshit, no one really talks about their games. Diablo 2 Resurrection or whatever released, and it was like a non-release. Some people bought it, but no one was really talking about it. This is what I mean. Like, this could destroy a company from the inside out when you have scandal after scandal and this kind of shit going on. I mean, look at Call of Duty Vanguard. Call of Duty always has been the most prominent first-person shooter franchise. And not to say that the game didn't sell, but it sold exponentially less than it usually does. And no one talks about Vanguard. Everyone acts like it doesn't exist. In fact, the company itself is now hyping up the next Call of Duty and even teasing that it'll come out earlier in the year than it usually does in 2022 to try to make us all forget that Vanguard even exists, right? So, Microsoft announces this morning around 5 a.m., Phil Spencer puts up the post that they're buying out Activision Blizzard. Immediately, Wall Street opens and the stock prices fucking skyrocket. I think it was like, the price was like $90-something and it went up to like $370-something. Now, that was like an hour ago. Who knows what it is now because I'm not paying attention, you know. But it was like, like, boo, ah! If you bought Activision stock when it was low because of the scandals, you just got lifted to the fucking stratosphere. You're probably rolling in dough. Imagine someone who dropped a few $1,000s on stock, how much money they have now. Wow. They're probably out buying their first fucking Lamborghini. Stupid as hell. but some people are stupid. What can I say? That's pretty crazy. Now, what does all this mean in the landscape of gaming and everything? Let's talk about changes that could happen or likely will happen. Let's talk about what's actually being reported on right now that will be concrete changes and also what's rumored. This is huge news, okay? So first of all, will Activision Blizzard games be exclusive to Microsoft consoles and PC and not be on Sony or Nintendo consoles because Xbox/Microsoft is buying them out? It's a good question. Remember, a couple years ago when Microsoft announced they were buying Bethesda and everyone said, That's no big deal. We all know that Bethesda games are going to be cross-platform. There's no way that they would only put the next Elder Scrolls on a Microsoft console. We know what big money they make on Sony and PlayStation. Oh, man, there's no way. Oh, Starfield's announced? That's definitely going to be cross-platform. And everyone was wrong. Because this year, or last year, I should say, we outright found out, no, wrong. They will be exclusive. It was outright said, no, why would Microsoft spend so much money to acquire Bethesda and not put their games on their consoles exclusively? You'd have to be fucking stupid. And it's like people are having a hard time having this sink in. Like, people to this day are still like, nah, I think Starfield's going to be on PlayStation. It's like, no, it's not. It's really not. Like, you're living in some fucking alternate reality. They outright said no. Okay? So, this acquisition is what, $67 billion to buy Activision Blizzard, right? Now, already people are up in arms like, no, this is terrible, because take a look at games, for example, Call of Duty. This has always been a franchise that's been cross-platform. There are very strong competitive communities for Call of Duty in both platforms. Not to say that there isn't one that's preferred. In fact, isn't it true that basically Xbox consoles have almost always been used in the last few years for competitions for Call of Duty, right? So in that case, that being said, yeah, if they were to say make Call of Duty either exclusive to one or the other, it would be a big deal, because I think half of the community would kind of be asked out. And already, it was announced this morning by Phil Spencer. He says, our goal with this acquisition is not to completely kind of leave out people or leave them in the dust who have been fans of the Activision Blizzard franchises on competitors' consoles. That's a tongue twister, competitor console. So, this is interesting to me, because what they're basically saying is something out there that maybe is already cross-platform and big will not change, but this probably means that Xbox is going to get all the DLCs exclusively. You mean like 2 consoles ago? Because if you remember, the Xbox 360 PS3 generation, Xbox 360... Is this camera doing it again? You fucker. Hold on a second, guys. I'm excited, but I'm not that excited that I'm turning bright pink. This is ridiculous. Fuck that. Well, now I turned off the auto adjust, and now I'm still bright pink. I guess I'm just going to be bright pink this morning. There's nothing I can do about it. Maybe I am that excited. Anyway, back in the Xbox 360 era, the Xbox 360 always got the exclusive expansions and DLCs first. They did. They had all these partnerships with all the companies that they would get the DLC expansions first. I remember getting Fallout expansions before people on the other console would get it. And then the same thing, Call of Duty would get their expansion DLCs first. So a lot of people are surmising maybe that's what the continuing relationship will be. That yes, maybe games like Call of Duty will still be cross-platform, but you're going to want to get it on Xbox because you're going to get all the expansions and DLCs and everything first, while Sony, Sony ponies, they're just going to have to sit around and wait. They're going to be bored. They're going to be like whittling wood, having nothing to do. They're going to be playing their Sony exclusives, Horizon Forbidden West and God of War 2 for the next 17 years, while everyone else on Microsoft is partying with all the new content and fun, and the Sony guys are going to be like, no, nothing to do on my console. Okay? So anyway, maybe that's the truth, maybe not. We don't know. Keep in mind that Phil Spencer said something very similar when they bought Bethesda 2 years ago, and then kind of went back on it and now says, yeah, everything's exclusive, fuck it. So maybe they'll do the same. We don't know, right? So it's interesting, to say the least. Now, definitely one of the interesting things, okay, that I'm curious about and everyone is curious about, and there's rumors about it already in the news. What will be the fate of Bobby Kodick, the current CEO of Activision Blizzard? This guy, we know, we have concrete evidence. This guy knew about the bad shit going on in his company for many, many years, and he swept it under the rug. There was a guy who was one of the head developers, I believe it was of Call of Duty, who was doing terrible things in the company, and he basically told him, hey, cut it out, or, and then he just hit it all and never disciplined the guy because he wanted Call of Duty to continue to be popular. And that's messed up. Like, we definitively know that he's been the one who knew about all the shit and just basically kind of didn't want to make a big deal about it. Now, there's a report that came out overnight. Interestingly enough, this report came out overnight right before the announcement of Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. And here's the report. Very quietly, Activision Blizzard has been doing an internal cleaning of house. They have so far fired 37 employees and disciplined 50 more for misconduct over the last 10 years. And basically are saying, yeah, we are serious about the whole thing now that the scandal broke and is public knowledge. Not that they cared about it before that. But now that it's public knowledge and everyone hates Activision Blizzard, now they've decided that they are now going to try to fix the problems internally. And they didn't tell anyone about it, but now the info kind of leaked overnight that, yeah, they fired a bunch of people and they're disciplining people, and basically they have like a no-tolerance policy for these people, okay? Or for this kind of conduct, I guess I should say. All right? But I just find that hilarious. The news leaks last night, and then all of a sudden, oh, Microsoft is buying them this morning. Right? So, all I can do is give you my take. My take is this. Get Bobby Kodick the fuck out of there and ban him from gaming development. I'm serious. The guy has shown he has absolutely no good judgment when it comes to running a major company. He's actually a shithead who allowed people to literally be mistreated over and over under his watch, and he didn't care because all he saw was green. So get him to go count his fucking money at his house, his mansion, because you know he's rolling in dough, and it doesn't matter if he ever works again. He's filthy rich. He could literally just live by himself in a bunker surrounded by platinum statues, eating fucking caviar, drinking Crevassier, literally for the rest of his life, and he still won't run out of money. That's the fucked up part about people like Bobby Kodick, okay? But anyway, get him out. Get him the fuck out. Throw him out and never involve him in the gaming industry ever again, and then have competent people take over the company. Because I personally feel that Activision Blizzard is a good game development company. They make a ton of great games, and they just need a redirection, and Microsoft buying them could 100% be the actual redirection they need. In fact, some people have been saying, you know, ever since Activision bought Blizzard many years ago, Blizzard hasn't been itself. Blizzard used to be able to take their time with game development and put out these great games, these bangers, right? And now it's kind of like, if you're not putting out like a multi-bajillion dollar game, you know, you can't even put out a game, you know? And it's crazy because, you know, Blizzard used to be consistent, but where's their new games right now, right? We don't even know anything about Overwatch 2, right? We haven't heard anything in years. So what I'm thinking is, Microsoft could fix that. Microsoft could be like, nah, we got to get these guys back on track to making good games, right? Fuck all the bullshit that happened under Kodick's watch and under his guidance and under, you know, all the edicts and shit that I'm sure that they had. Just let them make good games again, right? And I'm kind of interested in what's going to happen. I really am. I can't stop burping. Listen how excited I am. I'm so excited that gas is erupting out of every orifice of my body right now. You don't even want to see what's going on down there. All right? It's pretty exciting because Activision Blizzard was all but dead after what happened last year, and this could single-handedly reinvigorate and save the company. All right? Now just think of what just happened. You may have people who've been on the fence about getting a new console, right? Man, I really want a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series S or X, but shit, they can't get them actively. You look all around, they're nowhere to be found, right? But now all of a sudden in the last few months, the Series S is cropping up. It's showing up on store shelves. Why? Because it's different hardware from the Series X. It's really the only new-gen console available to anyone unless you want to pay double or triple to a fucking piece of shit scalper that probably lives on the other side of the planet, hoarding all these consoles in a warehouse because they bought them up with bots, right? So, that being said, now you're going to make your choice on what console to buy. Well, I could pay a scalper to get a PS5, and this year I'll be playing Horizon Forbidden West and God of War. Or I can buy an Xbox Series S, which is readily available and I can find relatively easily, and I can get a ridiculous amount of game value under Game Pass, and Microsoft just bought out all these fucking studios, so you know we're going to be getting Bethesda games, Activision Blizzard games, exclusive partnerships with EA and Ubisoft and all of this shit. Oh my fucking God. Holy shit. Right? Like, I'll be honest, if you want my honest take, someone who's done this now for almost 14 years, all right? Sony needs to answer. Sony, on this announcement, literally cannot just sit around and do nothing. They've got to do something to reinvigorate their own customer base, because right now, I'm going to be honest with all of you. Since I got my Xbox Series X late last summer, I barely turn on my PS5 anymore. There's no reason to. The consoles are equivalent, meaning they play games equally, right? The controllers are both good. I personally like the Xbox One better for its design. Some people prefer the DualSense, but in reality, actively they're the same controller, besides DualSense having a little bit of a gimmicky function with the vibration shit and the adaptive triggers that really, honestly, don't add much of anything to the gameplay experience. After a few minutes of gimmicky feeling, it just goes away. If every game was using the DualSense controller like, for example, Astro's Playroom did, that would be one thing. But very few games on PlayStation 5 are utilizing this for anything more than just a silly gimmick that lasts a few minutes. All the games that I played on PS5 that were supposed to utilize it, even Ratchet and fucking Clank last year, after a few hours, I forgot about it and didn't even notice or care anymore. Okay? So for me, when you're looking at the gameplay experiences, they're pretty equivalent on each console. Then you look at the exclusives. Well, yeah, PS5 had Demon's Souls and Returnal and Ratchet and Clank. And Returnal, and Ratchet and Clank, and Demon's Souls. And for a little bit, it had Kena Bridge of Spirits. Well, I guess it still has Kena Bridge of Spirits, right? But honestly, not that much. So then you look over at the Xbox, and you've got Forza 5, Halo Infinite, Forza 5, Halo Infinite. Okay, neither console's been great for its exclusives. Let's be really honest here. All right, we'll be very honest here. There's not that much. But that's going to change. Coming up, we got Horizon Forbidden West, we got God of War. What does Microsoft really have in the pipeline for this year? Starfield. So still there's not that much, right? I mean, to be honest. But what I'm really looking at now has to be the value for your dollar. When each console is equivalent performance-wise and doesn't have a lot of exclusives 2 years into its life cycle, what you've got to look at is value for your dollar. And honestly, the value for your buck here right now is Game Pass. Game fucking Pass. All right? 3 words. Game fucking Pass. It is absolutely the best value in gaming right now. No one can deny that paying $13 or $15 a month, whatever it is, for Game Pass Ultimate, getting new games at release with no additional charge, getting a humongous and ever-growing library of games that you can play is great. The one downfall of Game Pass that I'm now starting to see is that the games aren't on there forever. A lot of the games on Game Pass end up there for 6 months and then they're gone, or a year and then they're gone. And it's a little disappointing because, for example, we just went ahead and put a bunch of games into my I want to play them list on Game Pass. But then they released a list yesterday. These are the games that are going off of Game Pass and the dates that they are. And you start looking at it and you're like, oh shit, some of these are like games that are like lengthy RPGs and stuff. What if you just didn't want to play them right away? You have to rush because they're going to be off Game Pass. And once it's off Game Pass, you just can't play it anymore. Okay? You don't own the digital rights to those games. You can only play them while they're under Game Pass. So, this is interesting now. I definitely don't like that kind of a, it's kind of like a caveat, right? But it's still better than what fucking Sony's doing. Buy every goddamn game for full price. Like, Sony really, I mean, I'm serious about this. They got to do something. Whether it's announcing their own style of Game Pass, which has been the rumor that they are actually finding a way to emulate PS1, 2, and 3 games on PS5. And once that technology is hashed out and working fluidly, they're going to announce their own Game Pass subscription service where you can play all the old games and maybe some new games, or maybe not. Maybe it'll just be an old game subscription service. Who knows, right? But they got to do something. They can't just sit here and expect that. Number one, a console you can't get. I want a PlayStation 5. I wanted one for 2 years. You still can't get one unless you pay double or triple for a scalper. That's a huge fucking problem that Sony has not solved, right? They really have not figured anything out. They need to figure something out here. They have to. And they have not at this point. They need to figure out how can people get our console, because they can't. And in addition to that, they need to have value when there is none right now. I'm sorry, but if you own a PS5 and every game you buy is full price, but if you have Game Pass on an Xbox console and you get a bunch of games for $13, $15 a month, including new releases, what the fuck? It's not even the same model. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sony's using the outdated model and Microsoft's using this different new hip new model, right? And man, I just, they got to do something. I really feel, I'm being dead honest about this. I feel that Sony right now is at a disadvantage. They weren't expecting this. They weren't expecting Game Pass to take off like it has. They weren't expecting Microsoft to be buying up studios like this. And the big double whammy here, Microsoft can actually sell consoles because they designed two, the Series S and the Series X. And unlike me, I was completely wrong. I will admit this, ladies and gentlemen, I am a fallible person who can be wrong. I was wrong when at the launch of the Xbox Series S and X, I said that I think that the Series S is a waste of money and everyone's going to regret it, have buyer's remorse, because they're going to feel like they bought the underpowered console, and then 2-3 years down the line, they're going to be very disappointed because the console won't run games as well. It's actually turned out to be the opposite. The Series S and X almost run games identically. If you're playing games at 1080p, they pretty much do play games identically. So unless you care about 4K resolution, there's no difference anyway. And on top of that, because the consoles use different hardware, you can actually buy a Series S. So just that is a ginormous advantage when you're in a console war and no one can buy the consoles in the console war, but you are selling a lower end model that is available, right? So, I mean, right now, everything is in Microsoft's favor, right? It really is. This feels like a complete flip-flop. We had one console generation where the PlayStation 2 dominated. Even though Xbox made an interesting entry with the original Xbox, it didn't really get the kind of market share, and notability as the PS2 did. Then, the next console gen, it flip-flopped. Xbox 360 innovated and did a ton of shit right, while the PlayStation 3 had a really bad rocky start. Too expensive, integrated things like Bluetooth, Blu-ray player, things that made the console so expensive and hard to develop for. It took until the end of the console generation for it to catch up and eventually surpass Xbox 360, but it took a long fucking time. That console gen, 360, won the majority of that gen. Then last console gen, my God, you put Microsoft Gaming in the hands of Bobby Kodick. Oh God, what's his name? The guy who ran it into the ground. Now I can't remember his name. You know, Mr. Oh, you can't trade games because they're digital only, and you need digital verification to play our games, and you have to be online only to play the console. If you don't have online capability, buy an Xbox 360. I can't remember his fucking name right now because somehow I keep thinking Bobby Kodick, and that's not his name. But he literally almost ruined the Xbox One. Oh, we're going to force a Kinect to be bundled into it and everything. Whew. What was his name? Don Matrick. Thank you so much. Don Matrick. Kodick, Matrick. Wait a minute. Is everyone who had their names end in Tick a terrible shithead person? Who else's name ends in Tick? We gotta look this up. That's why the... Kodick, Matrick, Dick. There you go. Maybe we're on to something. Okay? Anyway. Yeah, they almost ruined to tank Microsoft as a game development company because no one wanted the console because it was too expensive, had the stupid fucking Kinect in it that no one wanted. No one wanted to hook their TV up to the fucking thing. The guy was an asshole. Fair enough, he's completely gone from the game industry now. What a shock. So, that being said, now we flip-flop to this console gen, and immediately PS5 sold way better than the Xbox. Why did it? Because it had the monstrous lead last console gen. Everyone just okay, so PlayStation was the place to be for the PS4 versus Xbox One era, so we want a PS5. We trust Sony, and that's what it really was. I think it was an installed gamer base. People who were just used to playing Sony consoles for the last console gen, they all wanted PS5. I did. I said, during the launch, I wanted PS5 over Xbox Series X, and that's the one I bought, right? But now here we are later, right? Here we are later, and it's like, Sony has to do something. Now, wait a minute. Just think of this. A couple quick things. Overwatch 2 releases guest character Master fucking Chief. It could actually happen. Think of this. Crash Bandicoot, the guy that was the mascot of Sony and the PlayStation for the PlayStation 1 era, is owned by Activision Blizzard and is now owned by Microsoft. Oh, the cast of Gears of War appears in StarCraft 3 and takes on the Zerg. So I'm just saying, you know, these are all hypotheticals. Obviously, none of these may actually ever happen. Okay? But the point I'm making here is, this is crazy. Like, to think this is, and all this shit is actually viable and possible right now. It could happen. It won't. It definitely won't. It's never going to happen. But the point I'm making is it could happen. You see? Okay. So, overall, interesting news for sure. Now, some people are freaking out this morning. But this is terrible news. It's a monopoly. Oh! Well, ladies and gentlemen, the definition of a monopoly is thus: the exclusive possession or control of the supply or trade in a community or service. A company or a group having exclusive control over a commodity or service. A commodity or service in the exclusive control of a company or group. The exclusive possession, control, or exercise of something. Okay? Last I checked, Microsoft does not own Nintendo, Sony, Ubisoft, EA, Take-Two, Capcom, Square Enix, Tencent, Stadia, Amazon, Warner Brothers, and 5 million other fucking game companies. By the way, shout out to that old gamer guy, because it was his tweet that gave me all that information. I kind of paraphrased what he had to say right there. But yeah, the point I'm making here is, no, this is not a monopoly. This is still big business, but it's not a monopoly. There's many, many, many competitors to Microsoft, plus a bajillion other indie studios as well. So this is not like Microsoft is the only exclusive provider of video games. That's ridiculous. Who would even say such a thing, right? But yeah, this is giant. This is huge. This definitely has to have a humongous impact. This is like when Disney bought Marvel and bought Star Wars, Lucasfilm and all of that. That's exactly what this is like. This is kind of the same deal where Microsoft is strategically buying up the biggest game developers out there that you know that they want and creating this ginormous army. Okay? It's interesting. So, wow. Wow. And now, what I'll say is this. No, I don't want to see, this is being very, very, very honest with you guys. I actually don't want to see Microsoft dominate and be the leader. I want to see Microsoft and Sony go neck and neck to try to retain the leader as console generation, you know, top developer or whatever. Because competition breeds innovation, breeds creativity, and it breeds good things for us, the consumer. When you have one company that absolutely sits at the top of something, dominant, bloated, complacent, because it doesn't feel like anyone can take them down, what you end up getting is a bunch of terrible things that happen. Seriously. When YouTube became the dominant video sharing service on the internet and got kind of complacent, feeling no one could compete with them, they started changing the site for the worse. Look at what happened with Twitch in the last year, right? Everyone knows that Twitch is the dominant place for game streaming and streaming in general on the internet. And look at all the fucked up stuff they've done in the last year that everyone hates them, but kind of says begrudgingly, meh, if I want to have a business, I guess I kind of have to kind of stay on Twitch, right? This is what I mean. If you just have one place that is winning, then you kind of get that. I don't want that. I want Sony now to say, okay, wow, we are getting destroyed here. What happened? How did we lose prominence? Because we were the prominent ones. And something has happened where we lost that lead, and now we got to play catch up in a very big way. Whether that means finding a way to get more PlayStations into the hands of their consumers, because right now it's all scalpers holding them. It's fucked up. Or whether it means changing PlayStation Now to be a service similar to Game Pass to give that value to the gamer that you're getting with Xbox and you don't get with PlayStation. Whatever it may be. They've got to do something. Some people are saying the rumor is that Sony's going to buy Square Enix outright and put all their games under their umbrella. And I mean, okay, great, but I don't know if just buying studios is the solution here. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some really, real definitive differences right now between being an Xbox Series S and X owner and a PlayStation 5 owner. And one of them is the way that you play and purchase games. While most people are getting Xbox Game Pass and are very happy with their console, while people on PS5 are kind of sitting around diddling their fingers and like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this fucking thing? There's no exclusive games for the fucker, right? I don't want to spend $70 several times a month to buy games that are cross-platform and shit, you know? Let me tell you, I'm slapping myself in the face because I bought MLB last year for PlayStation 5, and it was fun to play it with you guys and have a chill stream of it, but it was on fucking Game Pass. I spent $70 on that thing. And I could have fucking got it for $13 and then played it for a month and dropped it and never played it again. You see? So there you go. I am absolutely positively sure that there is going to be more news coming. All right? I'm sure that there will be more news coming. And as the new news comes about what's going to happen between Xbox and Sony, I will let you know. But man, this has completely changed everything. 2022 just heated up. This might be one of the most hot and contentious years for gaming ever, because of what's going on this morning. I am so excited. And by the way, guys, following along with this vein, this knowledge, I have an announcement to make this morning. I know I didn't give you guys any hint that this was happening. This is something that's actually been behind the scenes going on for a while. I didn't want to talk about it until it was actually solidified. But as of this morning, all right, this news is solidified this morning along with the news that Microsoft has bought Activision Blizzard. Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. I have been purchased by Microsoft. They own me. So, from now on, we will only be playing things on the Xbox consoles. All right? From now on, you'll never see me play a PlayStation game ever again. I will be shilling for Microsoft 24/7 every day. In fact, they already told me that my press kit's on the way, so I'm going to be wearing all Microsoft T-shirts, hats. When we hit the tips goal, Microsoft hat goes on now. Our Microsoft vest. They're actually sending me a green and black vest with Xbox logos all over it and Phil Spencer's fucking face plastered on the back. This is going to be very exciting times. Let me tell you guys. I'm very excited for this news. I hope you guys are too. To just be Xbots. This will be the Xbox, the home of Xbots, right here on YouTube. Will be DSPGaming. I'm so excited. I'm changing everything. My logo. Wait, what the fuck is this shit? Get this out of here. This gotta go. You gotta go, man. Shit. There we go. That's better. Much better. All right. So I hope you guys are excited for the future. Okay, obviously I'm kidding. Obviously, I'm kidding. Let's get this shit back up there, because now I fucking tossed it on the floor, and now the thing burst open on the floor. Obviously, I'm kidding. The good news is, I am not a sellout in any way, shape, or form. And everyone knows Xbox hates me. Remember that tweet they made in the fall of 2020, where they made a joke about me on Twitter, making fun of me, and then I laughed at them, and I basically added it to my content, and it's even a command in the chat right now. I don't know if it still autoplays or not. Actually, I don't think it does anymore, but yeah, Microsoft does. I guess the person who runs there it is, taking dunks into the new console generation when Xbox social media on Twitter dunked on me in late 2020 because that was an easy target, right? I'm an easy target. Listen, I'm almost 40 years old. I'm very slow. I'm not very witty anymore. I can't really react to these things quickly. You know, so what can I do? But it is what it is. This is very interesting news, and no one is ever going to buy me because, number one, I wouldn't accept it, and number two, no one cares about me anyway. So, there you go. Very depressing. All right, so that's the big gaming news. Let's now talk about yesterday, which was my day off, as the second half of the PreStream podcast. By the way, guys, thank you so much. We got 87 likes on the stream. If you're enjoying this PreStream podcast, I'd really appreciate if you give it a like. The more likes we get, the more engagement we get here on YouTube, and the more visibility is on my streams and my content. So it'd be great if you could do that. Same thing, if you're watching this video on demand and enjoying it on YouTube, please give it a like. And by all means, leave comments on this video and let me know what you think about the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Okay? So, yesterday was my day off. And I actually have some interesting news for all of you. Because as you guys know, over the last several weeks to month, it has been a huge debacle here in Washington State. No one has come to take our fucking trash. Even though we pay for trash removal, no one came to get our trash. First of all, they were supposed to come the week after Christmas, but we had a tiny bit of snow, and the excuse was because of inclement weather, they couldn't come pick up the trash. Okay? Really, there's 2 inches of snow on the ground. You can't come pick up the trash. Right. I mean, sorry, I came from Connecticut, and in Connecticut, there'd be feet of snow on the ground, and they would still come pick up the fucking trash. Here they don't. All right? So they said to us, oh, wait 2 weeks, and we'll do a double pickup of trash. That was last week when they didn't show up and said, we are having a labor dispute, not in Washington State, but in fucking California. And the Union of Trash Collectors has decided collectively they will not pick up trash anywhere because they want more from us as a company, so we have no one to send to pick up your trash. So this was pretty fucked up. We have trash built up for over a month in our homes, and no one has picked it up, all right? So I was going to, yesterday morning, I was going to take a trip to the dump and pay money. Yes, you have to actually pay around $30 to dump trash at the dump. And I was going to throw my trash out. What am I going to do? So I wake up to yesterday morning getting ready for my day out because I usually go grocery shopping first thing in the morning to get that done while my wife gets ready to go out. And then I come home, unpack, get the, prep the veggies, do whatever. And then we go out together, have a nice day out together. I get an email from our condo association here saying, guess what? It was just announced. They're going to come get our trash this week. I guess the labor dispute is over. And so put out your trash again. This is, I'm not exaggerating, the third fucking time I've put the same trash out in a month. And it stinks. And it's disgusting. They better fucking come get it, right? So we put all our trash out. And we're actually told they're not coming today. They're coming tomorrow, which would be today. So it is now 11:53 a.m. And they're not here. Okay? Gotta hope that they were telling the truth. Because everyone went out there. I'm not even kidding. Our streets have giant cans overflowing, extra bags of trash on the floor and everything. So you gotta hope that they actually do come today and take it. Because I was gonna go yesterday, but they said, no, don't, leave it out. They're coming. I said, I'm not gonna pay money if they're coming. So I leave it out, and now they still haven't taken it. So we'll see what happens. How exciting, right? Okay, anyway. That's one thing. So anyway, I didn't have to go to the dump yesterday, which was actually immediately a positive, okay? But we had an appointment in the afternoon that we had to go to, and knowing that, we kind of had to limit ourselves to one area because we wanted to be near where the appointment was. So we ended up going and getting food, and just, not that this is a plug or anything, but we actually went to IHOP, which we haven't been to in a while. You got International House of Pancakes. And when we went there, it was actually early afternoon. So we could have gotten breakfast, but both Kat and I were like, we feel like we want lunch. Okay? Like we want a lunch. I got they have a buttermilk chicken sandwich you can get, and you can get it however you want. They have all these different ways you can get it. I chose to get it jalapeno kick style, which means that it had a combination of jalapenos and serrano peppers and some pepper jack cheese, fried onions, lettuce, tomato, mayo on a brioche bun, okay? With a side of onion rings. That's what I got. Kat was in the mood for lunch too, which is rare because usually when we go out, she gets breakfast. So she ordered a chicken tenders meal, which is like 5 chicken tenders and a bunch of french fries with dipping sauce. She got the barbecue dipping sauce, okay? So the food comes. Mine is good, tastes good. The sandwich itself tastes great, but there's one thing I have to say about IHOP. They fucking cook with way too much grease, and everything comes out way too greasy and just gross. So I'm eating the sandwich. It tastes good. All the ingredients are good, but it's just dripping onto the plate. So I actually took some, it was green leaf lettuce. I ripped a bunch of it off, and I made a bed of green leaf lettuce. And as I'm trying to eat the sandwich, the thing is just going into this fucking bed of grease. It's like now you have like a green leaf bowl of grease on my plate, right? It's fucking yuck. Like, why can't they cook with less fucking grease? They don't need that much cooking oil to cook. Seriously, they just use way too much. And the same thing, like my onion rings tasted good, but they were overcooked with too much oil. You could tell they put too much oil, they overcooked them, too greasy. They literally just reduce half the amount of fucking grease they use, and their food would be good. But instead, they use way too much fucking grease, and it sucks. Like, seriously, the sandwich tasted good, but was so bad for me and so nasty, I likely will not get that again. It was going everywhere, the grease. Now, cat's meal. I couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe it. You figure you're going to a restaurant, you're going to get something restaurant quality. I swear to God, they gave her 5 chicken tenders that looks like fucking chicken tenders you bought at the grocery store that were frozen. And it looks like they literally just tossed them in a fryer for 5 minutes. By the way, overcooked them because they had too much grease and tossed them down. Here you go. She's like, you got to try this. We're both eating. We're like, it tastes exactly like a frozen chicken tender. Seriously, and it's a ripoff because it's not like they charge you $3 for the fucking tenders like you're paying in the store or the grocery store. It was expensive. We're like, what the fuck? Like, what is this shit? Like, how is this possible? They're charging this much for these shitty ass chicken tenders. They were bad. They were legit bad. And I was like, I'm sorry, have some of my onion rings. So she did. She ate a couple of my onion rings, which were pretty good. I felt really bad because she wanted a lunch. She almost never gets a lunch when we go out. If we're going somewhere that has breakfast, she usually gets a breakfast. She likes the breakfast at IHOP. She usually gets like a pancakes with some fruit or something. And it ended up being shit. Seriously, it's like when you go to a restaurant, you order chicken tenders, you're expecting something better than what you're going to buy at the grocery store for $5 and make yourself at home. This is literally felt, it was frozen, fucked up tenders. They were shit. So anyway, we did a few different things. We went to a pet store and saw some cute little animals, some cute hamsters and stuff. We didn't do too much. We didn't stay out that long. We ended up only staying out for about half the day, I would say. But it was a nice day. The weather was good. It was cool. No rain or anything. But it wasn't too cold. You know what I mean? It was like a good temperature. And I'm just trying to think if anything else really notable happened. Not really that I can even, like, remember. Everything was just kind of... Basically, let me put it this way. I didn't have a lot of money, just being honest with all of you. I get paid this week. Later this week, I get paid by YouTube for the month, okay? So this week, the week leading up to me getting paid is always the tightest week because any money that I have had gotten paid from last month is long gone. It went to bills. And usually the tips money and things that comes in on my streams has been used up to pay other bills and things. This last week I had bills and stuff to pay. So, like, I was nickel and diming it. I was like, fuck. I went to the grocery store, okay? And there were things that we need. And I was like, we just can't get them this week. Like, we have a Swiffer floor cleaner to clean our floors. And it uses these pads. We ran out of pads. I can't buy those this week. We got to wait till, like, next week to get that stuff. And let me tell you, dude, the fucking grocery store is ridiculous. The fucking grocery store, it's so expensive. It's getting out of control now. Inflation here in the United States, people say, oh, there's no inflation or something. No, you're out of your mind. I'm not kidding you. Before the pandemic happened, all right, we were going grocery shopping and spending a certain amount. Now when we do buy the same exact stuff, we haven't changed anything. We haven't decided to buy higher grade products and expensive gourmet food. We're doing the same stuff. You guys know what we eat. I tell you, oh, we had turkey tacos. We had chicken fajitas. We had turkey burgers. We had, what are we having this week? Rigatoni pasta with some chicken meatballs. These are not giant gourmet expensive dishes we're making. All right, they're not. But I'm not kidding you. It's increased by about 50%. 50, not 15. 50% increase in the cost of when we go shopping now for groceries every week. It's insane. And that's money that I used to use for important stuff every week when I went out. It's just gone. It's just fucking gone. I went grocery shopping yesterday. And I purposely said, we can't get this week, I can't afford it. We can't get this week, I can't afford it. We went through the list of things that we're not going to get this week. We'll get them next week. Okay? I checked out and the fucking bill was more expensive than last fucking week. What? I left shit out that we couldn't afford and the price was more expensive than last week. The prices are literally going up week by fucking week. This is bullshit. But at least Joe Biden's going to send us some free fucking COVID tests. I'm very excited for this. I'm very happy that something's going in the right direction. All right, that was a little bit of political commentary. Let's get that out of the way. We're not going to talk about that anymore today. Okay, we're done. No more of that. No more. All right, so that was my day off. Oh, so after we were out, like I said, we actually came home on the earlier side because we didn't have a lot of money to do anything. Right? We just didn't. We didn't have a lot of money to do anything. So we came home and basically Jasper was in a really good mood yesterday. What we did is we lifted up one of the couch sections in the living room and found a bunch of his toys that he had pushed under there over the last several months and gave him some of them. So he was going crazy in the house playing with all these toys and everything. He was very energetic and having a good time. And then Kat played a lot of Skyrim. And it was fun watching her play Skyrim. Some of the quest things, you know, that I remember, some I don't at all. And some of the stuff is new Anniversary Edition content, so it's exciting to watch her play. And some ideas of things that I should be doing maybe in the future of the playthrough, or maybe not. We'll see. But it was good. It was fun. We chilled. We had a good time. You know, we had a good. It was just relaxing. A relaxing day. We didn't have any money to do anything really. You know, it would be great if we had money. We would have stayed out and done more stuff. We didn't have any fucking money. So, so that was our day out. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Without any further ado, shout outs time. Because you guys have contributed a lot, and I want you to get your credit for what you've been saying. So let's do that right now. Thank you to over 117 likes on this stream, guys. I really appreciate that. Again, liking this stream helps this channel dramatically for engagement purposes. It gives it visibility on YouTube. You guys have been helping me a lot with this year. Thank you for the likes. And if you're watching on demand on YouTube, please give the video a like and leave a comment to let me know about all this stuff, what you think. I want your take. Okay? All right. Let's do some shout outs. We start off today with Pinocchio re-upping his membership for 2 months. He says, is this the end of the PlayStation Nation? Yes. PlayStation Nation is done. In fact, you know what? If you own a PlayStation 5, you should unhook it right now, pick it up, and throw it right in the fucking trash can. You might as well, because there's no one going to be using that anymore. It's dead, dominant, Xbox rule the fucking world. Of course, because that's how the world is. It's complete black and white. There's absolutely no in between. Right. Rob on Wheels has re-upped his membership for 9 months as a super supporter, which helps the channel even more than the standard supporter level. Thank you, Rob. And he says, I have returned. It's good to see you back, Rob. Welcome back to the stream. By the way, I don't know if you guys knew what we're playing games today. I actually am playing Condemned Criminal Origins on stream today. We're going to try to finish it. Just that the Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard news was so big that was really had to be my major focus when I named the stream and everything. But we're going to beat Condemned Criminal Origins today. Likely, there's 3 chapters left, and they don't even take an hour each, so we're probably beating it, okay? Cool. Hidden Gem Gamers did the first super chat of the day. $5. Thank you very much. It says, I'm hoping Microsoft will let Raven Software make a new Singularity game or anything else other than Call of Duty. Hopefully they will be free Raven. Yeah, if you guys aren't aware, what ended up happening was, Activision went crazy and basically said, well, what are our cash cows? Call of Duty, of course. Tell every studio under our wing to stop making games and just work on Call of Duty. And I'm not shitting you. That actually happened. Game studios who were working on Crash Bandicoot, game studios that were working on other games, like Raven Software, who's a great studio making games. So you're told, don't make games. Work on Call of Duty. Well, fuck Call of Duty and fuck you, Bobby Kodick, because you're an asshole, and that's the worst thing you could do when you have a bunch of creative people who want to create, and you tell them don't create, make fucking Call of Duty content. What a fucking prick. What a greedy piece of shit. Seriously, I can't wait till he's out of Activision. What a fucktard. Anyway. Sorry. Went on a little rant there. Yeah, I really hope that now we can have these companies going back and doing good things again. Let them make another Crash Bandicoot game. Let them fucking make other stuff. All right? Seriously, let them. Let them make great games again. I want to see another, it doesn't have to be Singularity. I just want to see Raven be creative again. That's a great point. Raven Studios is a good studio. They've made great games. Let them create. Okay. U of M student donated $4.99 through Super Chat and says thank you. Well, you're welcome. I don't know what you're thanking me for, but I really appreciate that. Let's get this up on the leaderboard here. Okay. Cool. Oh, really? Breaking news. Bobby Kodick has resigned during my podcast. What the fuck? No fucking way. No fucking way. I gotta find it. I don't see it. I'm trying to find it. Where is it? Oh, let me look at trends. I don't see it. Maybe I just gotta search for Bobby Kodick and it'll come up. Maybe it's such fresh news. It's such fresh news that it's not trending yet. Here we go. The official report is that he will leave when the merger is done. Then he didn't quit. What are you talking about? I have more Twitter followers than Bobby Kodick does. What? He only has 12,000 Twitter followers. What the fuck? Well, he hasn't tweeted since like June because no one likes him. Everyone hates his guts. Yeah, there's nothing. You guys don't know what you're talking about. It ain't there. No, basically what the news was this morning is that the rumor is that Bobby Kodick will definitely stick around through the merger and then he'll leave the company because it's going to be basically run by Microsoft anyway. So what does he need to stick around for? All right. But I don't know. Anyway, if he is stepping down, great. Fuck him. Seriously. Okay. Now let's go to the tip side of stuff. So we start off with Jad F today, who did the first tip of the day. $1.49. And Jad F says the following. Microsoft has a monopoly on RTS and the 4X genre. Age of Empires, Age of Mythology, StarCraft, Warcraft, Day 1 Game Pass for Company of Heroes 3, Total War Series, Paradox Studio, Crusader Kings, Europa Universalis, Stellaris, Hearts of Iron, Insane. So real-time strategy games, but isn't XCOM real-time strategy too? Right? I think it is. But you're right. I mean, that's a lot of franchises and games to be under one umbrella. Damn. And now all those franchises can cross over into the ultimate real-time strategy game ever called RTS the Game. Yes. XCOM is considered turn-based, not real-time. Gotcha. I know what you're saying. Yes, because I know Age of Empires, there's no pause between turns. Gotcha. Now I understand. Thank you. Snowphil to the $1.50 says Crash, Spyro, Banjo-Kazooie, all in Microsoft hands. Imagine being an old dog in Sony Studios and seeing all those branded on the wall, realizing none of them are coming to Sony ever again. Yes. 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 Imagine. Imagine that shit. Okay. Carlton Jr. tipped $1.50. He's securing Call of Duty on Game Pass probably means Sony's Game Pass is dead on arrival. Probably not completely dead, but I think it'll never be able to be bigger than the Xbox Game Pass. The deal closes on June 23rd. No, excuse me. In June 2023. And allegedly Kodick will stay until then. They just fucking get him out now. Seriously, why wait? You know what? Here's what they need to do. I'm serious about this. Here's what they should do. Have a bunch of guys dressed up like Master Chief cosplayers. Big roided cosplayers, right? They come in, big burly men, and they're all dressed in full Halo Spartan outfits. And they have a giant-ass fucking wheelbarrow, and they just burst in his door. They come into his office, they pick his little fucking Weasley neck up, they toss his ass to the fucking wheelbarrow, and they roll him out the front door. Toss his ass right face first onto the concrete. That's what they should do. Now that would be a meme on the internet. Okay. Let's see here. Snowphil tipped another $1.50. And he says, finally, they own the FPS genre as well. Halo, Call of Duty, Doom, Wolfenstein, Overwatch, Battlefield via EA Play and Game Pass, Apex Legends via EA Play and Game Pass, Titanfall via EA Play. Sony has Killzone 3. Yikes. All right. Excuse me. Okay. Snowfield did another tip, $1.50. He says, it's just a ticking time bomb before Sony yields and takes the loss by allowing Game Pass to be present on Sony consoles, and they capitulate the gaming wars. Wow. Game Pass on Sony consoles. So whenever you buy a game, or excuse me, whenever you get Game Pass and you don't buy any games for Sony consoles, Sony makes no money at all. All the money goes to Microsoft and you're playing on a Sony console. Wow. Now that's a big fuck you. I'm playing on Nintendo, but I'm playing an Xbox game on Nintendo, and Nintendo makes no money. Woo! All right, interesting. Pinocchio has tipped $5, and that is the biggest tip of the day so far. Thank you, Pinocchio. Let's get that on the leaderboard. Wait. How the fuck do you spell that? Pinocchio. There it is. Penis Parker tipped $1.50 and says, I completely agree with you about complacency. We've already seen Sony's strong-arm indie devs charge $10 to $20 for next-gen upgrades and then poorly handle save transfers. Hope this makes Sony wake up and improve their user experience. You're right. I mean, literally, time and time again this console gen, Sony has failed to do what... Wait a minute. Microsoft does what Sony don't? Sounds familiar somehow. Xbox does what PlayStation don't. Wow. Penis Parker tipped another tip, $1.50, and says, when Call of Duty does become an Xbox exclusive, what do you think Sony's answer will be? Will they revive older stuff like Killzone and Resistance, or do you think that they try to make a new IP? I don't know. I honestly don't know what they would do. Would they give up and not do first-person shooters and just do other kinds of games? Will Sony buy from software? Maybe they will. Snowfield to the $1.50. He said, we might laugh at Don Matrick, but his vision is insane. He predicted the cloud gaming and subscription dependency, always online, the death of physical games. This is why Xbox One was ahead of its time. Yeah, but the problem is, here's the truth, you can't do things too early. He was trying to force the industry forward way before it was ready. There's got to be a transition, not a just day and night change flip switch. You know what I'm saying? And literally, that's what he was doing. He was trying to flip a switch and change everything about console gaming overnight. It wasn't going to work, you know? Okay. Anso Kamaru to the $1.50. Says I've been Omicroned up this past week. I've been catching up on your vids. Alongside, I'm sorry to hear that, by the way. I hope you feel better. Alongside that, I finished Chrono Trigger and started Chrono Cross for the very first time. How do you feel about if you ever played it? I dropped it 3 hours in, not my cup of tea. I never played Chrono Cross, not once. I heard when it actually was a new release. I heard that it was supposed to be like a pseudo sequel, but not really, to Chrono Trigger. Like, people were saying there were gameplay elements and plot elements that were similar to Chrono Trigger, but it didn't have the same cast, and it was definitely its own game. So I never played it. And then afterwards, I heard it actually was nowhere near as good as Chrono Trigger, so I never bothered with it. So there you go. Plum Goral has tipped $1.50. Said, painfully feel for you with inflation. We can't even find an affordable rental house in our city. We're simply looking for a 2 or 3 bedroom house with a yard for our dogs. We can't find one that's not an unsafe area for less than $1,500 a month. That's terrible. No, really, that's terrible. I'll tell you guys something. My mortgage is expensive, okay? But you guys know I live in a private community. I live in a nice house. We actually have a dog walking park behind us where you're safe to bring your animals. Plus all these good things that the condo association takes care of. And it's only slightly more expensive than what you just said a month. I know. So it's ridiculous right now out there. It is. I feel for you. I hope you can find something. Hidden Gem Gamers has just tipped me $20. Thank you so much for the very generous tip. That's the biggest tip of the day. Let's get that up on the leaderboard here. Cool. All right, and they said the following. I hope this helps. I'm not sure if you remember, but a while ago I sent you a link to my review of Singularity. I managed to interview a dev who worked on it. It would mean a lot if you could stream my review live sometime. It's informative and fun. I don't remember seeing that at all. So, you know, you want to resend it or whatever. Maybe the problem is maybe it hit my spam too. Could be. I don't know. But thank you for the tip. And if you want me to see that, recommend resending it. Mega Man, I'm sorry. I just burped right in Mega Man's face. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, man. I'll give him a shower later. Liza Versol tipped me $1.50. His fuck Microsoft Game Pass. Literally every good game that's going to be on there has been at one point free with PS Plus, while being able to play those games at any time you want. Fuck Game Pass, and fuck you, Phil, for turning into an Xbox fanboy. Gee, thanks, Liza Versol. Happy Tuesday to you, too. If you take a look at all the shit I've played under Game Pass in the last 6+ months, I think that just factually, I've disproven what you just said. I've played multiple new games, including continuously still playing Halo Infinite, playing through the entirety of Halo, Horizon. Horizon. I took the words Forza and Horizon and I combined them into Horizon. I'm just going to call it that from now on. Horizon 5. I played Horizon 5, and I like that. And I played so many other games over the summer, like 12 Minutes, Hades, right? Among others. And by the way, you can argue that, well, some of those games are old and some aren't good. That's fine, but that's your opinion. The Xbox Series X has opened up content creation for me in a way that I never had before. I'm able to now choose and try out new games. Just this week, we're going to have a major stream of Sniper Elite 4. If it works, great. If not, who cares? It's Game Pass. Fuck it, right? That's what I mean. This is amazing. It really is amazing. Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about Flight Sim. Microsoft Flight Sim was a really fun thing I did over the summer. That was so neat. You see? And everyone will argue, well, you can play that elsewhere. That's great, but I don't. I play it here because I have it. There's no... When people... Listen, I understand if you really like Sony and you're upset about this morning's news. Don't piss on everyone else's parade just because you're a little upset. Other people are allowed to enjoy other things, right? They are. Don't be a dick. You know? Seriously, don't be a dick. Don't rain on everyone's parade who's actually maybe excited about the news that we got some serious fucking competition. Okay? By the way, Phil Spencer, I'll be over to mow your lawn and take your trash out later. I know, he bought me, so that's the first thing I got to do for him. Pinocchio has tipped me $3. He says, Sony has become too westernized in recent years, in my opinion. I'm getting tired of their third-person narrative games, and I hope that they'll have new stuff to show. I hope so, too. I want to see some new stuff from Sony that maybe is, you know, groundbreaking. I mean, Forspoken looked like it was going to be it, and then they just showed off Forspoken, what was it, like a month ago, and everyone was like, wow, what they just showed was terrible. You know, the dialogue's cringy. Basically, the game has nice visuals, and that's about it. The rest of the game looks like shit. So, yeah, I think, again, today's news should be exciting for everyone. And I mean that. Even if you don't care about Microsoft and you don't have an Xbox console and you don't play on PC and you only have PlayStation, you should still be happy. Because this means, I guarantee you, this means competition. Real competition between Microsoft and Sony. Microsoft stepped it up, and now Sony has to do something to respond. They can't just ignore it. We may all be benefiting from this in the very near future. There's no reason to be upset just because one company came out with a flying right hook and boom! Right? Maybe now Sony will come up with a uppercut. Right? That's cool. With a rolling uppercut. You gotta roll your tongue when you say that word. You see? JadFX says, this is becoming a Sony trend. Good visuals, terrible story, and writing. Look at Returnal, Ratchet & Clank, Kena, and now Forspoken. I disagree with Kena. I think Kena was good. Do we have more Super Chats coming in here? Yeah, we do. So Chicken Man did a Super Chat. He says, I don't think Microsoft is done. Ubisoft is next. Okay. You think he's going to buy out Ubisoft outright. Interesting. Dai Hickse just did a €5 Super Chat and says, the thing people forget about Sony versus Microsoft is that Microsoft has FU kind of money. Yeah, you're right. So Microsoft, you know, is backed by all the money they made over the years from Windows and shit. It's absolutely true. They do have that almost unlimited pockets to go upon. If they really said, fuck everything, we're just gonna go crazy, they could spend, you know, and there's not much you can do about it. So there you go. Thank you, Guts. He says hello and welcome back. Cool. Sony doesn't have fuck you money too. Sony, I mean, I don't know if they have Microsoft levels of money. I guess we'd have to find out. We have to look into that. I don't know. I can't. I would say we know Microsoft has giant pockets, deep pockets. You know, you got Scrooge McDuck swimming in his money pit, his money bin, right? But then you've got Microsoft, and that's like there's a country made of money. Like you actually walk down the street and you know you open the door's made of like coins. The countertop's made of flattened $100 bills. It's a little different. Okay. Microsoft is a $2.5 trillion company, while Sony's net worth is only $260 billion. Ooh, sick burn. Ooh, we're only 10 times bigger than you. Ooh. Wow. Wow. Come on. You gotta be nicer than that when you say it, at least. Sony overall is not even valued at $70 billion, which is the amount of money Activision Blizzard just got bought for. Oh my god. Oh my god. So Dai Hickse just did another super chat. Says their enterprise branch makes them billions of dollars. I'm in IT. Their Azure servers and Windows Office licenses make them stupid money. There you go. A lot of people don't realize the shit that the money that the money that's made behind the scenes in this kind of business on the back end is just astronomical. You know, people say, are you aware that just now BlackBerry went out of business? Like just now, BlackBerry's devices finally don't work anymore. You might say, what's BlackBerry? You're right. BlackBerry hasn't been prominent and hasn't really even been sold in stores for a decade, but it took them that long for their devices to stop working, even though basically the company is defunct. BlackBerry, behind the scenes, was the #1 phone company for businesses for like 15 years. It was crazy. Like the ginormous contracts that they had with companies that were just residual contracts. They kept making money. That's what I mean. Like, Microsoft using, oh, what do they do? Oh, Windows and Xbox. But then, no, actually, they have all these insane software arrangements and things behind the scenes that make them so much fucking money. They don't have to do nothing. Tahik says they make like $1,000 a month for just one license. Now imagine a business that needs a ridiculous amount of licenses to operate. Or imagine how many businesses there are just in one country. And imagine how many businesses there are on the whole planet. Man. Oh. Wow. Lives were sold to the $1.50 says, did you watch the new Nelk episode where Prank gambles wearing fake mustache? Whatever. Thanks for the tip. I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. Okay. Can I play Overwatch? I did play Overwatch, Jade. When it was a new game, I played Overwatch for like over a year. I really liked Overwatch as a first-person shooter. You know, I like the variety in gameplay because each character played pretty differently. I do wish that the game was balanced more because I do feel there were characters that were way overpowered. But after a while, I kind of got bored because there just wasn't enough new content and stuff for it. Now, come to find out, when I quit it, within like a year, they added a ton of new shit. But guess what? They haven't developed for the game in over a year now. Because they said, oh, we're just going to divert all of our dev time to Overwatch 2. Which is hilarious because we've heard nothing about Overwatch 2 in the longest time. And Overwatch 1 is now completely stagnant. So, I did like that game. Absolutely. But I'm not going to go back to it now. Absolutely not. Ramrod says Team Fortress 2 is better than Overwatch. Well, I mean, in a lot of ways, Overwatch took stuff directly from Team Fortress 2. Just changed it or ended it, so. Guts says, will this be the endgame stream of Condemned Criminal Origins? You know, we didn't talk about the game schedule at all. All right, let's finish the pre-stream by talking about the game schedule. Right now, it's going to be Condemned Criminal Origins, 3 hours, and possibly the end, because there's 3 chapters left in the game. Each chapter's taking about an hour or less, so it's very possible we're finishing the game today. I guess it depends on what's coming up, because I have no idea, so let's find out. Tonight, the late stream at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is a chill late-night stream of Lost Judgment post-game content, where I'll be doing all kinds of fun side content and chilling with you guys. It really is more of a chill stream than anything else. There's no pressure to make any progress, but I'd obviously like to do things like find some of the hidden squirrels, do some side missions, etc. Okay? Tomorrow, Skyrim Anniversary Edition continuing on the first stream, and tomorrow night, we start with the post-game content of Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways. Now, one of the cool things about you guys leaving comments on my videos is that I read them and learn stuff. For example, someone said, is Phil aware that Separate Ways is 4 hours long? Why are people telling him he could beat it in a night stream? It's very lengthy, and there's no way he's going to do it. I didn't know that. So likely we're starting that Wednesday night, and we'll see how far I get, and then maybe I'll have to do another night stream for it, okay? On Thursday, we got a new release, Rainbow Six Extraction. Here we go, on Game Pass. I literally would skip this fucking game if it weren't on Game Pass, but because it's on Game Pass, we're going to give it a shot. If it sucks, fuck it, who cares? We don't have to play it again. But if it's good, cool. Put it in the rotation. We'll find out on Thursday, okay? So that's what we're looking at for the next few days of streaming. By the way, I should be here for the next 6 days. Straight days of streaming. My next day off should be Monday. If anything changes along those lines, I will definitely let you know, but that's what we're looking at, okay? All right, guys, guess what? Let's end the pre-stream. That was a great pre-stream. We talked about a lot. We had a lot of hype. Holy shit. Literally, holy shit. My turbo turds launching me through the ceiling. I did not expect this game announcement, or this announcement this morning. Hidden Gem Gamers, the Super Chat said I posted my link to my review. Okay, I'll have to give a look at that later, Hidden Gem Gamers. Thank you. Thank you for your support this morning. So let's end the pre-stream. Let's swap over. Let's play some Condemned. Thank you to everyone who enjoyed the pre-stream and gave it a like. I mean, 150 likes, that's a lot. That's more than I usually get. I know now what's going to happen. A lot of people are going to leave. This is what happens. I did a hype podcast. People wanted to hear about my opinions about the gaming news. Some people aren't really caring about Condemned. That's fine. Thanks for chilling with me. Thanks for watching this on YouTube on demand and hopefully leaving a comment about it. And let's get started. Here we go.